Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis in preparation for June 7th, 2017. Just a quick disclaimer before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. If you have questions about your individual investment needs, I recommend you talk to your investment advisor. Okay, let's start off by taking a look at our Forex factory here. Thursday is a very important day. Today we didn't have a whole lot of important news. We have RBA rate statement where they did not change the rates. Coming up in just a little bit here, we have GDP number for Australia. So that will be, of course, be an important one for Aussie here. And then going into Wednesday, not that important, nothing much in our in the London session, but going into the New York session, we just have the crude oil inventories. So not a big day as far as data is concerned, but we do have trade balance for Australia and trade balance for China. So trade balance for China will also impact Aussie and New Zealand dollar because they are big trade partners with China. The important day here, the biggest news day will be Thursday here. We have elections for UK here. We also have Eurozone minimum bid rate and ECB press conference, as well as Bank of Canada Governor Poulos speaking. So very, very important day on Thursday. So what we do see sometimes is when we are going into important news, markets start to trade sideways ahead of that. Or sometimes, for example, for the UK elections, if we start getting some really positive poll results, we may see markets react in a very enthusiastic way. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Or if we get news that's like the poll results that come out negative, something unexpected, that could have a negative impact on the pound. So pound will be volatile tomorrow. So keep that in mind. So that's the most important thing because we do have important news on Thursday there. Okay, so looking at our charts in terms of euro here. Euro, we are sitting, we're in a bit of a range, but we are into the top of the range here. So price has been making this a bit of a triangle here. So we're kind of pushing into the high, but we haven't been able to break this 1180, so about 1300 area. We haven't been able to break that to the upside yet. At this point, we are at the top of the triangle or the top of the range, so we could see price come back into the range, so towards the bottom of this candle. So that's something to keep in mind ahead of the elections. Unless we get some crazy news, we could see a sideways market ahead of that. So do keep that in mind. We have kind of stayed here in this range for a while, so that will likely hold. Here we are, as we can see, price is holding right into the highs here, but I would expect price to come down a little and maybe even come test the bottom of this this triangle and then maybe coil up into it. So this is what we are looking, but if it does break higher, does break through this high, then we are looking for price to move to the next level. And the next level in our case would be into here. So we're looking at 1366 level, which is the next support and resistance area. So if price pushes up higher, so we're looking for that. So first we're looking for a bit of a pullback here into the triangle, and then we are looking for price to move up higher. So looking for basically this type of a move, price kind of coiling higher, and then once it breaks up, we will look for a back test and then another move to the upside. So we may see some of that. However, if the price goes sideways, that is likely as well. Going into the elections, we may just see price kind of trade in this range here. That's likely as well. But right now, we are certainly into the high. Euro Swiss here, based on the daily, we have been going down. We have had a nice daily close here. So based on the daily close, we're looking for another move to the downside here. So price broke below this this support area here, and then now we have made a nice bearish engulfing candle. So the next one for this is right into that. So this is our 108.30 level will be the next one. next target, and 108.20 level will be basically be the target to the downside here. This whole inefficient move to the upside kind of it has gotten filled now, so we're back into the starting point. So for Euro Swiss, we're looking for a move to the downside. Here we are in terms of a 4-hour chart, so it does look like it wants to move lower. And below that, we are looking for, so 108. So 108.20 and then 108.100 will be the next two targets to the downside right into here. So those are the two. Euro yen here, based on the daily, we have had a big daily close here. So we are bearish, but it also means that the price could move up, pull back up, and then drop. So in this case, the move that we may see is a push up and then a drop from there. So I would be looking for keeping an eye on this 123.75 to 80 area there, see how the price reacts at that level. But overall, it is bearish, but this is a good support area. This was a previous resistance area, which is now turning into support. So 122.90 area would be the first target to the downside. And then we are looking at 122.50-ish area, which is the bottom of this pin here. So those will be the two targets to the downside. The bias is to the downside, but I am looking for a pull back up. So we could see a push up and then a further drop to the downside. Here we are. So we could see price go all the way into 123.75, 80 area right there, and then do another drop to the downside. So overall, though, based on the daily close, we are bearish on Euro yen. Pound dollar here, pound can be quite volatile, and going into the elections, we may see further volatility from this, or it may just go sideways. So it depends how it will react, but it is in this broad range, and it hasn't broken out of this range for quite some time. The daily close on this was totally neutral, completely neutral. So because of that close, we could see price kind of trickle down here. The 129.100 is where it is currently, but which is right in the middle of the range. So at this point, if the price comes down into 122.80, 127.80 area, we're looking for price to push back up. And if price here, this is the kind of move we would be looking for, or if it pushes up high, we're looking for price to kind of come back into the range. So right now we are smack in the middle. So we have to see which way the price wants to go, but this is a range bound day this is a range bound move that we are looking for in terms of pound. Here we are in our 4 hours, so we did see a big drop and then double bottom here. Price is moving back up. It filled this inefficient move right all the way up to here, where it took off to the breaking point. And now we could come back, or we could go up higher. So there's no direction for this pair at the moment. Okay, so pound Swiss here. Looking at the daily close, very neutral close for the last 3 days. We haven't been able to break that level. At this point, we'll really need to see where it's going to go. 123.80 will be the target, first target to the downside. And then if the price breaks through, then we may see it come down lower. So we could see one of these ones, that move, but it has to break that 123.80 level. So we need to see what the price will do at 123.80. If it does not manage to break, if it holds above this, then we could just see the move back up. So again, 123.80 would be an important level to watch for pound Swiss here. Again, because we are going into the elections, this is not a pair that I would really focus on. Same thing with pound yen as well. Yen has been very strong, very bearish close for the day, but because it is pound yen, I would be careful with this one. Both the pairs, both the currencies are very, very volatile. So pound yen tends to be extra volatile because of that reason. So this one can move 200-300 pips in one day. So I would watch out for that. But based on the daily close, though, this is bearish, and we'd be looking for further move to the downside into 142.40-ish area will be the first target, and 140 will be the target to the downside. But again, it's important to be careful with this one. Aussie dollar, this one I am looking for a bit of a move down here. So we are into this resistance level. 75.20 is the level. This is where this is coming from. I'm looking for a bit of a move to the downside. We have had a very neutral close on the day. So even though the candle looks bullish here because of the green candle here, but as we can see, there's pin to the upside, pin to the bottom, which gives it a bit of a neutral close. And because of the neutral close, and because this is our resistance, or this level acted as resistance previously, I'm looking for a bit of a push to the downside. So in this case, what could happen is we could get a shallow push down to the downside. We may just get 74.80 here or 74.75, and then price could go back up, or we could see that we could see the price come down into 74.50-ish area. My target here, first target is 74.80 in terms of the profit target. The second one would be 74.50. Here's our 4-hour. As we can see, this is where price has reacted, and now just looking for price to come back into the pivot. Actually, no, looking for it to come back into this level, 74.80-ish level, 74.70-ish level, somewhere in there. And this is our 1 hour, so it does look like it wants to move lower. But we do need to watch out this area right here, 74.95 area, which is also our pivot point. So if price gets stuck at this point, it is time to get out of the trade, and trade would not be valid anymore. So 74, this is the first target though that I'm looking for. But at this point, I'd be open to closing the trade out if it doesn't break below 74.90 area. So again, based on the daily close, it is neutral. Over here, New Zealand dollar has enjoyed a number of up days now. So that's a lot of days that it has been moving up. So here we saw a number of down days. Now we have seen a number of up days. At this point, we could see another move to the upside. We are into, that's a big candle close. We do have a pin here, so we would have to be flexible with this one. What we may end up seeing is price pulling back down into this level, this previous support and resistance, so 71.50 area, and then we could see a further move to the upside. So we could see one of these trades, and then price may go up and go hit this target, 72.50 target. So again, with this one, right now, I'm looking for a bit of a move to the downside, and then looking for a push to the upside. The target here is 72.50. So that's the plan here. So this is where we are right now. It's moving lower. So right into this 71.50 area is where I'd be looking for price to come down to. Swiss dollar, Swissy here. Another down day for dollar Swiss franc. Now we are into this pin here. We have broken, we had broken below this support and resistance 76.50 area, which was very important. And then we went and back tested it slightly higher, actually, right into there. And now we're looking for a price to drop further. So the next target here, we could see the price go all the way down to 95.50, which is right over here, right into the bottom. So this is something we will be looking for, but the first target would be 95.90 right into here, and then the further target would be into the bottom of either this pin or into this area. So let's say 95.50 area. So 95.90 is the first target. Bias is to the downside. 95.90 first target. 95.50 would be the second target. In terms of our 4-hour, we are still in this downward trend. We did pull back up, and now it's pushing lower. Here we are, so looking for, essentially we're looking for a move to the further move to the downside for dollar Swiss. Dollar yen, again, we have moved down quite a bit to the downside, very bearish close on the day, but it is a big move, and as a result of that, when we see such big moves, we could see price pull back up. So that we could have a retracement, a bit of a retracement, and then another move to the downside. So bearish, we are certainly looking for another bearish, further move to the downside because of the big bearish candle close here. But in terms of the pullback, we could see pullback go all the way into 110 here. So that would be the level that I'd be watching closely here. So we could get one of these moves, price pushes up, and then we come down and sort of like that. So that's the, but overall though, a bias is to the downside based on the daily close. We are looking quite bearish, but I would be more comfortable taking a trade at 110 and seeing how that level holds, and then looking for a further move to the downside, not at the current level. So here we are. So this is where we could see the price come back to, or even slightly higher into this level. So 110 to 110.20. Those will be the two levels to watch. So we could see price go up and then drop further. Again, the bias is still to the downside though. Euro pound here. Euro pound is range bound. We have been range bound for the last little while here, for a few days. So that's the range, and that's the range we are expecting the price to stay in till we see elections, till elections are passed. So very, very neutral close for the day. So in this case, 87.66 will be the area that we could see resistance in, or even into 87.80-ish area. So we're looking for, at the top of the range, we're looking to sell. Bottom of the range, we are looking for a move to the upside. So we'll trade this as a range bound day for sure. Dollar CAD here. Dollar CAD bearish day, looking for another move to the downside based on that. We are into the support. So last time a price had trouble breaking through this level, but it could this time, and we could see price come back into this level here. So we are certainly, this looks bearish here. So we could see first target would be 134.30 area, which is right there. And then we're looking for 133.80 area. So those would be our 133.80-ish area. So that would be our target here for dollar CAD. So certainly looks bearish at the moment. And let's do a couple more. Euro Aussie here. Euro Aussie, very a bit of a neutral close actually to the day, and as a result we are back into this range again. At this point we could see the price drop because there is larger pin to the upside than there is to the downside, but it does, the pins on both sides does put a bit of a neutral bias to it. So at this point I would be looking for this level here, so 50-70-ish area for a potential move to the downside, so potential sell at that area. But we would need to be open in this one because euro will get influenced by the not only by the elections in UK, but also by ECB. So we have ECB on Thursday as well. So euro, of course, based on what Draghi says, that will have an impact on euro. So keep that in mind. And last one we'll take a look at here is CAD yen. CAD yen, again, bearish close on the day. And based on that, we are looking for a further move to the downside. The move wasn't as big as in some of the other pairs, dollar yen, for example. So in this case, the bias is still to the downside. And the next target that we'd be looking for would be 80.50. So this level here. However, before that happens, we could see a push into 81.60 here, so this level here, and then a drop to the downside. So we could see one of these moves here as well. So the final target is 80.50, but before it gets there, the important level to watch would be 81.60. If price pushes into 81.60, we may have an opportunity to sell, but we have to wait for the setup, of course. So this will be the level. Price comes into there and gives us a selling opportunity. We could sell that and move towards 8100. So that would be the plan for CAD yen. Any questions or anything to add? Any other pair we want to look at? Okay, no? All right. Sounds good. So we will call it a wrap for today. So I will see you guys in the morning then. Okay, have a good night.